Hey folks, um, this is the easiest way we can give you a Bailey update. We had a meeting tonight about the Bailey search, um, so I'm going to do this update with some point form notes that I jotted down and things from the meeting that we had tonight. So, again, bear with me. Going to try to give you as good an update as we can. There's going to be a big change in the Bailey search, um, and I'm going to try to explain why. But um, you all can still help with these changes. So, all right. So, let me start off with confirming um, all the way through 2 months. Um, we have got Bailey sightings, what we believe are Bailey sightings. Like I explained in the first video, some are possibles, some describe right down to the caller. We follow everything we get. The core team, response team officers from Dream Team, the family. Some don't pan out, some do. Some have taught us stuff. Others have led us wrong directions. It's been a roller coaster up and down. But we are still getting sightings of what we believe is possibly Bailey. So I'll explain that as well a bit further, what I mean on that and where we stand on it. So he uses a lot of paths that are very difficult to see him in. He goes up and down creeks, hydro right-of-ways, trails, pathways, stuff like that. Most of Bailey's movements are areas to get from one place to another, are areas where hardly anybody could ever see him. When he does step out in the public and we get a public sighting, Bailey's moving at full speed. So when he's on the paths, he's moseying along. The minute he has to step into public, boof, he's at full speed. The sightings for the last few weeks, anyway, have seemed to have slowed down drastically. We are still getting them in the proper areas, but they seem to have slowed down drastically. And that was leading the team into a direction towards removing the spotters, and kind of changing the focus of the search. And there is good reason why we're thinking of doing that, and I'm going to explain it to you. So, like I said, when he travels through the creeks and the hydro right-of-ways, he's traveling a lot slower, according to the sightings that we're getting. But the minute he steps out onto the streets, poof, he's moving. Usually. What am I saying here? Sorry. We believe that we have proved Bailey knows the spotters are there. And he is actually trying to duck around them. We felt this before. I kind of did an inkling to it before. We feel that's fact now. We feel we have enough proof in the way the sightings happen. He's actually ducking around the spotters. He knows the spotters are there. So that's why we're going to try a different strategy. Okay. Um, if we're hindering him in his movements, and if we allow him to move freer, it makes more sense. If we do that, he's going to step into public more. He's going to move freer. He's going to move around more. And you all at your homes, the spotters that have been out for us, everybody else in Oakville, Burlington, you're all watching. So if he steps out more into public, it just makes more sense that we're going to see him more. We're going to get more sightings reported, okay? And that's our hope. If we stop hindering his movements and making him duck around us, and he just is able to just freely move, then it's going to help in a few other areas. There's another area it's going to help that I can't at this point really explain to you, but we need to allow him to move free, okay? So we need to be able to interact with him, and that's the gist of it. We need those chances, okay? So we're going to remove the spotters, and that may not be permanent, removing the spotters. If things change and we need spotters back, we'll post it back up on the Bring Home Bailey group, and we'll put the schedule back up for you to sign back up, okay? So if things change, immediately we'll let you know. So this may not be permanent, removing the spotters. It's just trying something because of things that have happened, and I'm going to let you know about those things further down, okay? So once we do that, please don't drive around the areas, because the spotters know the target areas. Please don't drive around the areas. We don't want traffic to pick up. The idea is for him to move freer, and don't go sit in spots, okay? With everybody just going back to doing their normal thing, a lot of people are still watching, and he's going to be seen because he's going to move freer now, okay? Right. So again, we're gonna allow him to have the freedom to move, to see if this works in our favor. Don't move the target areas. Don't sit in spots. We need to have more interactions with him. Okay, we desperately need to be able to catch him. At this point, no one, and I mean no one, is going to be able to lure Bailey towards them, unless something drastic happens. And I don't even feel myself or any of the Dream Team response officers at this point would have a chance of luring Bailey towards them. Never say never. I live by that motto, but we don't feel it'll happen. So we don't even feel at this point the owners are going to have a lot of luck successfully luring Bailey towards them right away. So please don't try, okay? We do have one ace in the hole, though, and the family has another dog named Rosie. And we already know that Rosie is a trigger. Even though Bailey's domestic side is in his subconscious and he's not thinking about it and he can't remember it, and for some reason Rosie's a trigger. And we know that because an incident happened where we had a spotter in place. None of us even knew Bailey was anywhere near us. The last sighting was very far away. It had been days. And a neighbor came down the street with a little white dog. And it's a neighbor that knows the family, knows Bailey. And they happen to have a little white dog as well. And out of nowhere, in front of this neighbor and our spotter, out runs Bailey. And some of you may have already heard this sighting before. Out runs Bailey and runs right up to them, figures out it's not Rosie, turns around, runs away. I myself got a glimpse of Bailey that night. Caitlin from our core team was with me. She too got a glimpse of Bailey that night. So we already know Rosie's a trigger, and Rosie may be our best chance in a face-to-face, and Rosie is there most of the time. Rosie is also being used for scent trails where we need them. Cross your fingers that ace in the hole works if we get the face-to-face. All right, so Bailey could also make a wrong turn. Cross my fingers. He goes into somebody's yard because their gate's open and they have 8-foot wooden fences and it's secure, and somebody sees him do that and they close the gate and it's all over. We just have to go in with the owners and Rosie and calm him down, and Bob's your uncle. It'll be all over. We can only hope he makes a mistake like that or runs in a garage. They close the garage door and he gets trapped in there and they realize he's in there. A mistake like that, that would be very cool if something like that would happen and end this so Bailey can come home and this nightmare can end for his family. I will tell you, because you're asking, and for the people that have been spotters for us out there and faithful, and the core team, the dream team, and the family, thank you. We couldn't have done what we've done so far without you, and I think the goal for everyone involved is the same, bringing him home, and we all want to see that happen. So I will let you in on 2 nights ago we had 4 sightings. One came in from one spotter, and then 3 more came in from another spotter. The other spotter that had 3, they happened in concession because she was able to move to see different spots. We believe it's very possible it was Bailey. All 4 sightings happened over a period of, the first one and then the other 3 happened over a period of a few hours. So it meant that Bailey stayed in one area for several hours. And that would be the first time this has ever happened since the start of the search. He's always on the move. He never stops. You'll see him in an area. He'll be a kilometer away in the blink of an eye. This time, for some reason, Bailey stayed in the area for several hours. The core team and response team are looking into all of it, and we are deeply looking into it. maybe Bailey's feeling spring fever. You know, I am. This warmer weather, I like it. I don't like the cold. We can only hope that the warmer weather brings Bailey out more, brings him out into public, creates more sightings for us, that our trick works, and we have more interactions with him that we drastically need. So I'm going to skip over to this part right here at this point, and I'm going to actually give you the areas that are our concentration areas. Okay, now these areas I'm going to give you are huge, but he does have a pathway through all the areas I'm going to give you, and a few paths. Okay, so in any of these rectangles that I'm about to give you, Bailey could be seen. So if you live in these rectangles, check your properties daily or a couple times a day. You may find Bailey hidden on it. If you're traveling or live within these rectangles, keep your eyes open. You just may see Bailey out of the corner of your eye. Okay, but be safe. Always be safe, but keep your eyes open. Okay. So the areas to watch for Oakville are from Burl Oak to just east of downtown Oakville, to the east side of downtown Oakville, and from Lakeshore to Highway 5, that rectangle. Okay. If you're in Burlington, Burl Oak to Walker's Line, and from Lakeshore to Highway 5. Chance you may see Bailey within that rectangle. Also, Burlington. There's a stretch from the QEW to Highway 5, from Appleby all the way to Brant Street. If you live within those areas, check your properties and keep your eyes open for Bailey. Okay? Then, of course, in the industrial areas on Harvester around the Den, in Burlington as well. Okay? In these areas, watch creeks, trails, and hide your right-of-ways. Okay? If you see him, please do not interact with him. Just call us right away, okay? And try to get a picture or a video if you can. We really need a picture or video if you see him. So try your best, okay? If you're face-to-face and Bailey can actually see you, the first thing you do is drop straight to the ground. Laying down the best, you can go down to your knees, you can go down cross-legged, and bow your head. You can watch Bailey with your peripheral vision, but don't let him know you're watching him. Okay, make him think you're bowing your head. And then as you're doing that, ignore him and make a phone call to us, okay? And call us, and we'll talk you through the whole situation. If you're face-to-face with Bailey, we'll talk you through it. If you think that you've seen Bailey, if you think for sure, 100%, I just saw Bailey, then we want you to call into the search and rescue, okay? And the number is 905-902-8326. And an easy way to remember it is, the search and rescue number is 905-902-TEAM, T-E-A-M, on your keypad, Okay, so 905-902 team. All right, so I told you that I would tell you kind of where we stand, the team, okay, on the Bailey search. Just so you guys know where we stand and how we're looking at it exactly. Sightings are coming in, and they're close to Bailey, or they match Bailey. Some have even mentioned the collar. Others have been a lot vaguer, okay? But sightings are coming in that are close or match Bailey. I'm losing my page here. Here we go. So, our team, the Dream Team, social media, they have a grasp on everything missing in the area. And so, if there's nothing missing, and over time no sightings get reported of a dog matching that, we have to assume that those sightings are Bailey, could possibly be Bailey, and we're going to react on them. We're going to check them out. We're going to respond to them. We're going to assume, because there's nothing else they could be, that they are Bailey.
SMS from Caitlin Nichols. Press Uconnect phone button and say text message to read it.
Caitlin texting me on the search and rescue phone. I'll get back to her in a sec. Okay. So the way the team sees it is, as long as there's sightings coming in that could possibly match Bailey, then we're going to react on them, and we're going to assume they're Bailey, and we're going to give him every fighting chance possible to come home. And we're going to keep reacting on everything until everything stops. Dream Team doesn't ever stop. Even if sightings stop, we don't give up. We still watch. There's times a year later we've responded to something because we felt strongly enough about it. So we will never give up on Bailey. But the search will go up and down as the search goes up and down. Okay? So we're removing the spotters right now. But if sightings come in and Bailey starts running around in the good weather, and we start to get a lot more sightings, we will drastically ramp everything back up. Spotters will be put back out. Other things will roll out. Everything will be ramped back up. If everything drops right off, things will be ramped down. Things will go according to what the team gets in, the evidence we get in, the sightings we get in. From this point forward, everything will go to what happens. But Dream Team, the core team, we're not giving up, and we will never give up as long as there's a chance, as long as we're given an opportunity to try to bring him home. So we will be looking into all this stuff. We will be keeping the search for Bailey going. We're just changing it up a bit. And like I said, at any time it could change back. At any time things could change and Bailey could get caught. So we're going to keep going. I know it's you've got to understand, updates are hard for us because they take a lot of time. But we do want to keep you informed. Certainly if things you need to know right away happen, we will put it on. Absolutely. But we're out there trying to follow the leads, trying to do the stuff, and we're trying not to stop to do the updates. We're also dealing with other missing dogs and other stuff too. So that's our update. I hope it informs everybody, gives you everything you were looking for. He has been seen within the last couple days, we believe, and it was several times that one night. So we will keep you informed if anything happens further with that. All right. Again, thanks for the people that have been out as spotters. We may be calling you back, but thank you for your help. The family appreciates it. Dream Team appreciates it. The core team appreciates it. And don't stop. Keep watching. You all live in the areas. Keep watching. Keep watching out for him. And keep checking your properties. Thanks, folks.